Good morning and welcome to our live crafting session this morning. It's Monday the 6th of February 2023. If you're joining me live, obviously you could be watching at a later date, such as the power and fun of Facebook and YouTube. My name is Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire here in the UK. It's a beautiful morning this morning, so I'm actually using just natural light. I'm hoping that it doesn't give me too many shadows as the light comes in from the side, but it's a lovely sunny, very crisp morning, rather cold. My phone tells me it is let's see, 1 degree centigrade, but sunny all day, and I think it's going to be like that for most of the rest of the week, actually getting a little bit warmer during the week. So there's your weather forecast. Thank you so much for joining me. If you joined me last week, you will have seen me use the masks on Thursday. Morning, Catherine and Kate. Morning to you. You will have seen me use these masks here to create a card. And the reason that I use these is that we are in Celebration, which is a promotion from Stampin' Up. And they've added some additional items from the main and spring catalogues to the free items that you can choose. And these Loveliest Layers masks was one of the options. Morning, Kate. So, on Thursday I did the flowers, and today I'm going to use this lovely background design. And as you can see, it's just got 3 little lines going across, but the great thing about this is that you can do it one way, and then you can turn this round and it will fill in the gaps going the other way. You can also do it like that and then move it across so that you've got a complete page full of stripes, either horizontally or vertically. Oh, Kate says it was minus 25 2.5 sorry, centigrade on the school run. Oh, bless. So what I'm going to do is I've just cut a piece of basic white card that I'm going to use. I haven't cut this to size, I will cut it down shortly. And I'm going to be using 2 shades of blue, I think. So I've got Orchid Oasis and Balmy blue, and I want a contrast between the two. And then I'm going to stamp and add some flowers from Petal Park to go in the centre. So let's have a go at this mask. So I think what I'm going to do is you can attach your piece of paper to, I'm using some spare grid paper here. You can just hold it. It really just depends on how you want to do it. You could also use a larger piece and put a magnet on and use it on the stamparatus. Bear in mind that you've got to get this to cover, so you don't want anything in the way. So I think all I'm going to do maybe is put a little bit of tape. I've got some washi tape here, if I can find the end, just to hold it flat onto my paper. Morning, Baz, thanks for joining us. So I'm just going to line this up here, not that it's really critical, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the top. Now I know I'm going to cut this down, so I'm not too worried if my mask goes over any of the washi tape. So you could either choose to start it in the corner like that, which might make it easier because then you know that it's going to work all the way around. So I think I'm going to do that, or am I? I could just put it on here. Decisions. I think I'm going to put it right across, and then it won't matter where I cut it, she says. So all I'm going to do is make sure that my mask is equally straight, and actually what I can do is just take that down as well. That saves me holding it. I'm just going to lift this light up a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to be using my blending brushes. I keep some with just general colours, so they're just called blue, rather than one specifically for each colour, because obviously we have a large number of colours. And I'm going to start with the darker one, and then I'm going to work down to the lighter one. So I hope everybody is well. Before I get started, do let me know if you had a good weekend. Right, let's get going. So I've got Orchid Oasis, like so. Just going to find another piece of grid paper that I can just work that onto. Okay, so don't really need to keep my hand on it, but I do tend to, just out of practice. So I'm just using, as you can see, just a swirling motion, making sure that I'm going over each of those. As I say, this is going to be cut down, and I like the fact that this is a 6 inch by 6 inch. No, it's bigger than that. Yeah, it's bigger. Well, the inlaid area where the stencil is 6 by 6. So this is great for obviously square cards as well as rectangles. And you could also do an ombre effect. Morning, Rebecca. I hope you're well. Haven't seen you for a little while. I hope everything's okay with you. Here comes the postman. Go. So you can just take your time. Don't feel that you have to rush. And what I can do is just lift up one edge of the mask. So we call them masks, but they're also stencils, so it just depends on your preferred terminology, really, which is why I use both, I think, in our description. Okay, so let's see. There we go. So I'm just going to lift up this bottom edge here. There we go. So get a really nice crisp pattern. That gives you the opportunity just to check and see if there's anything where you've missed an area. I'm actually going to have something in the centre anyway, so I could have left that centre portion uninked if I wanted to, but you could go back in, just make sure they're lined up and add in a bit more colour where you need. Okay, so that's one layer. And so all I'm going to do now is turn this layer over and place it back in the other direction, and obviously you've got the pattern that you can follow, and that's one reason why I did the darker colour first. Like so, and hopefully also, because I've got the grid paper and I've used the lines of the grid paper to put it down, it should match. Now I know that's going to reflect a little bit, hopefully you can see in there the pattern behind the mask. Okay, so now I'm going to use some Balmy blue. Now this idea is not original at all. I saw it. Oh, now who did I see? I think it was Heather Forgan. If I've got that wrong, I apologise and I will check it. Okay, so I've got Balmy blue, so I've got a change of colour. Also, you could use two completely different colours if you wanted to. You don't have to use two colours of the same area. And the good thing is, obviously, because it's a stencil, it's covering up the other bit, so I don't have to worry about going over the whole thing again. And I'm just going to add the Balmy blue. This would look nice in greens, but also in greys as a background for a man's card, maybe the ones with the motorbikes. That would look really good. So what I would recommend is to wipe the stencil down in between, because obviously there's a little bit of the Orchid Oasis ink still on here, so it will transfer a little bit. But my cloths are all packed in my coffee and card bag because we're doing watercolouring on Friday and this afternoon. But I would recommend have a cloth. You could use a kitchen towel, and you want to make sure that when you put this back down that you haven't turned it over, which is why having the washi tape is good, because the washi tape will confirm which side you're working on. Otherwise you can transfer obviously the ink from the back of the mask or stencil onto your card. Okay. So I love the fact that we've got a combination of masks here. So the other 4 masks make a fantastic flower and leaves, and then this is a nice contrast, which you could use on the backing behind those as well if you wanted to. Okay, I think that's probably it. You could also use a spritzer and spritz ink straight onto there if you wanted to. Right, let's have a look and see. There we go. Alright, so I can see here I haven't done very much at the bottom. I might cut that off, but to be on the safe side, I'm going to replace it and ink it up. There we go. It's only that like 1 or 2 that go along there. And I'll say I might not even use it, but there we go. Okay, so if I lift this away now, just going to leave this on the base to begin with. Yep, that's worked fine. So you can see here where the washi tape is. If I just lift that up there, there is a little bit here where the washi tape was. So what I can just do is go over that little bit there. And I'm going to do the same at the bottom. If you chose a much larger piece of paper, then you probably wouldn't need to worry about that. Okay, just do that last one there. And you can just hold it down. You don't need to use washi tape at all for either of the layers. It just depends on whether you're happy to hold it in the meantime. So let's lift this off here. There we go. Now I'm going to make sure I put that down ready to wash. And you can wipe it down, or you can just pop it in the sink with some washing up liquid. Doesn't need anything stronger than that. Okay. There we go. So there's our background panel. And now I can choose how much of that I cut off, whether I want it in the centre so that I've got this going around the edges. I don't think the pattern will fit exactly unless I cut it down to an exact piece. That's one option that I have, and put a layer behind. So I'm going to come back to that in a second, and I'm just going to stamp some flowers from Petal Park to go with it. And I'm going to use Orchid Oasis, and I'll also stamp a sentiment as well. And so let's grab these just quickly, and I'm going to punch these out and put these onto a layer. And if you caught my Petal Park stamping earlier on, you'll remember the layout of the flowers in the punch, just to make your life easy. I've just got to find the punch. Here it is. So on the punch itself, the small flower is at the top and the two at the bottom to make a triangle. So that's how I'm going to stamp it, just to make my life easier. Does it go over the area? Oh yeah, no stickiness affecting colour. No, not at all. As long as you're using a light washi tape or masking tape, it would be fine. So I've got that one there, and that there. So I can punch those out. And I'm just going to use my Balmy blue pen. I could just stamp the inserts, but I do quite like doing a quick bit of colouring. And so I've got dark Balmy blue that I'm going to use for the centres, like so. Just going to do that really quickly. And I've got a Balmy blue oval that I'm going to use behind, but an Orchid Oasis one would look even better. Okay, just doing these really quickly. So and then the light. There we go. Just blending out, not particularly in any detail. And the ovals that I'm using come from the Fancy Florets or the Fitting Florets collection. There we are. So just a quick amount of colouring. I think I'm going to add some yellow centres, just to break it up a little bit. So pretty, these flowers. I'm really glad that this was part of my stamp set of the weeks. It's been really popular. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these out. So just take a minute to get them centred. mind your hands when you're punching so you don't catch the edges of your hands. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Whoop. So I've got some flowers, should have 6, I do. So I'm going to cut this down in a minute, just want to put this together to see what it's looking like. So this is the Balmy Blue oval, and this is a white, because I want a sentiment in the middle, and then I'm going to add my flowers. Now I really would like an Orchid Oasis edge, but I don't want to waste time while you're watching. So what I might do is just place that down, and then I will replace it later. Let's stamp our sentiment, and I'm going to use the Flowers of Friendship, this sentiment in the middle. Life is better with friends like you. And I could have used these flowers and punched those out, because we have a punch for those as well. But this sentiment fits this oval absolutely perfectly. So I'm just going to ink this up. Just test it on my piece of paper. Pop this in the centre, roughly. There we go. Yes, I like the new flowers. They're not quite as, I think they're more, this is more stylised, isn't it? And the new flowers have a little bit more detail to them. Right, so this is how this is going to go together. Like so. And then I'm going to add these in, like so. So I really do want a darker one, because I think that will just frame it better. Let's trim this down first. And let us see. So I want this to be either 9.5 or 10. And I'm thinking if I cut that at 9.5, that looks quite central. So I've got a pattern either side. And then I want this to be, in that case, 13.85. So what I'm going to do is trim this just a little bit first. Like so, and hopefully that will be similar. Not far off, so I've got 2 here, 2 here, 2 here and 2 here, so it's nearly there. I'm going to add an Orchid Oasis layer behind and then a white card. Let's just cut this to size. So this needs to be 10, which it is, 14.35, which it is. So this is going to be layered onto here, and then onto a white card. Here. Like so. Okay, just going to check the measurements of that. Fine. Okay, let's attach those together. Oh, it goes that way. Is that going to work? Yes, it will. Okay, let's put these together here. So I've just got my seal, like so, a little bit in the middle. go. Onto the card. And then maybe it will work with that. Just wonder if I've got a silver one. Let me have a quick look. And I've got white. No, not to worry. Okay, I'm going to place this down first. Like that. And then my oval is going to go onto there. And then I'm just going to use the bone folder to fold up my flowers a little bit. You can just crinkle them with your fingers if you prefer. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place these here for now, because I do want to cut out the Orchid Oasis frame, I've decided. So I am just going to pop these here for now. So you can see the finished thing. And there we go. That is it. Just coming up to 10:30. So in my sort of half an hour slot. Yes, I think so too, definitely. Especially as I've got this as an outline and the outline of the flowers. So, oh, thank you, Rebecca. So, but to save time with you watching, I'm going to just leave it like that, and then as soon as I've finished, I will add an Orchid Oasis frame just to, as you say, define it better. And that's our card, using our stencil mask as a background. Hopefully you can see that. I might add a few little dots in there as well. So I hope you like it. Let's put this light on for a second. There we go. So these masks that we've used today are available for £10. You get 5 masks. 4 make the flowers that I showed last week. And then this one here for a background. Make a great background grid, as I say, in greys, wouldn't it, for a man's card. And you have the option of choosing these as a free item with a £45 order. So if you place a £45 order with me for any products, it can be for any of the current catalogues or for kits or anything from the clearance rack, then you can elect to choose either a celebration item or the masks or any of the items from the new additions that were added last week. So thank you so much. Oh, bless you. Oh, do you mean the Petal Park bundle? It's so nice. I used it as my stamp set of the week. So here's another card using that. And those little flowers are cute. Use those on the envelope. So I really do recommend, if you have got it, give it a go. There's a bit of a blue theme going on here. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. I will leave you to your day in peace. Please enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, morning, afternoon, evening, depending on when you're watching. And I'll be back tomorrow with our new stamp set of the week. That's Tuesday. And I'll be here at 7 PM UK time. I hope you're able to join me. Thank you so much. And I hope you can keep crafting. Bye for now.